Do you ever feel bad for not finishing a book? Here's which books went to the graveyard for me this year and why. I'm a diehard reader, and when I say that, I mean if I make it halfway through a book, the chances are pretty high I'm going to force myself to finish it just for the stats. I love a good comeback kid, and I give every book a chance to prove itself worthy of my valuable reading time in the end. But sometimes a book loses me early, or I just can't stick it through long enough to finish. Luckily for this year, I only have a few books that I either didn't finish or probably shouldn't have finished. Let's rapid fire these with unfiltered feedback. The first one is Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett. It has 3.2 stars on Goodreads, and usually that's enough to get me through a book start to finish. But there was something about reading this book that reminded me of the time I tried and failed to learn how to drive stick shift. The dialogue felt super choppy, and oftentimes information was revealed that was then backfilled later, and so my brain just kind of felt like it was skipping around a bunch. It might have just been a bad reading day for me, but for whatever reason, the transitions and writing flow just felt a little bit choppy and disjointed, and I bailed after about 50 pages. If you finished it and think it's worth a revisit, be sure to let me know. This one I might get some hate for, because it was over 4 stars on Goodreads, but I ended up not finishing The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. I've been in kind of a fantasy slump, so perhaps this one was just a little too quirky for where I was at earlier this year, but I just couldn't get into the characters or the plot and kept losing focus. I could probably be persuaded to try again if a convincing case is made. The third book is If You Tell by Greg Olson, which has about 3.9 stars on Goodreads. I'm all for a dark psychological thriller or true crime mystery, but this one was a little over the top for me. And unfortunately, it's a true story. I probably shouldn't have finished it, but I did because I wanted to know how the story ended. But at the end, I had to go outside and touch grass. Just to give you advance notice, this book has every single graphic warning I think you can possibly put on a book. Consider yourself warned. In the end, I do always feel a little bit bad when I DNF a book. Sometimes it's just the right book at the wrong time, but I would hate for the author to take it personally. That said, my goal is to find my, and hopefully your, next 5-star read. So there's a very real possibility I have even more books on my DNF list next year. Let me know in the comments, were there any books you started this year and just couldn't quite get into, or that you absolutely had no patience for?